This video is brought to you by WeatherTech. Now, I'm a big fan of car, truck, and SUV camping, but I hate the feeling of sleeping in a fishbowl. But WeatherTech has a really cool product to help with that. Check this out. This is the sunshade, but not just for your windshield, for all the windows. They are shiny on one side to help deflect the rays of the sun in the summer to keep your car cool, and then on the other side, they're dark black, which helps absorb some of that heat from the sun and melt the frost in the winter. Check out the link in the description below for all your car, truck, and SUV needs.
Some bad news is diesel fuel and gasoline prices are going through the roof.
Yeah, and if you're a hardworking individual that needs a heavy-duty truck, loading these things up with fuel costs a lot of money. So we are here to help you out.
Yes, on this episode of TFL's Running on Empty, we're going to count down and show you the most fuel-efficient diesel trucks, well, from least to the most.
Right.
And also from least to the most efficient gasoline-powered heavy duties.
That's right. So we're doing 3,500 dualies and we're doing 2,500s, and we're covering the big three.
So, dude, let's kick it off with heavy-duty trucks. These are diesel dually trucks. And number 3 on our list, based on our own testing, is the Ram 3500 heavy-duty, the red truck.
The big red Ram. Now, we towed extraordinary loads with all of these trucks, but we were kicking it off with, of course, the Ram.
And this was a 30,000-pound gooseneck trailer. This is a huge project. As you remember, all of us were involved. Mr. Truck was there because he's our heavy-duty guy.
Yep.
And we towed this gigantic Caterpillar-esque, well, a medium, I guess, Caterpillar, but still 30,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yes. So we did MPG loop on our Hudson loop, and here's what happened. Let's roll that clip with the Ram. Here's the calculation. 66 miles we went, divided by 10.989 equals 6 dead.
Okay.
It's close to what the computer said.
6.3 is what the computer says.
You know, the funny thing is, I don't know whether or not that's good or bad when you're towing something that weighs more than a house.
Yes, but I hope this shows you guys when you load up a diesel truck near its limits, what they're capable of. And the Cummins diesel, right, with a 6-speed Ison, usually is pretty good. But in this case, it did 6 mpg, 6.0.
Yes.
So it is number 3 on our list. It was not the most efficient.
But what surprises me is what number 2 is, because it was better, but not that much better.
Yes, number 2 is the GMC Sierra 3500. You can see it on this image. Once again, dually truck with a Duramax.
Right.
So let's roll that clip. What did it get on our loop? So using the map, it's 66-mile loop. Divide by 9.608. Final result, look at this. 6.87, basically 6.9. Hey, it's pretty close to what the computer said.
Semis are doing right about that. That's, their maximum capacity.
6.9 mpg.
Just under 7.
Yes, but still, if you're up, let's say 20,000 miles a year, let's say you're hauling it, it adds up in a big way.
And this is, are we talking about a brand new powertrain? It's pretty new.
Yeah, exactly. At that time, it was basically brand new with a new 10-speed Allison branded transmission.
That's correct.
Technically not a true Allison. GM and Allison are working together on this.
Right.
So that Duramax V8 it still has the same rating, 445 horsepower. So this test would apply today because they haven't changed that powertrain.
That is correct. So let's talk about number 1.
Yeah, number 1. So, well, there's big three manufacturers.
Yeah.
So it is the Ford F-350 Power Stroke V8 diesel. Here's a clip of the video of it towing on our loop. That's the damage, 8.44. All right, 66 miles divided by 8.442 equals, whoa. That's huge. That's 7.8.
Wow, so this almost beat it by 1?
This is better than the GM truck, almost by 1.
Almost by 1.
That's pretty significant.
That is.
Now that is a hell of a result.
7.8 mpg, 7.8 as you saw. I was impressed. I did not expect this, by the way. Traditionally, if you ask any heavy-duty truck guy, they might put Cummins number one, right?
Right, that's what I would have probably.
Well, because it's the straight six, right? Big semi-trucks use straight six engines, and they roll down the highway, getting probably similar numbers to this.
But this was nearly 1 mile per gallon better than second place, not to mention third place.
Yes, so this was a huge result. And once again, Ford did something apparently really, really right, because this engine is really powerful. It's very torquey. It has a 10-speed automatic transmission, of course. And it tows up there with the rest. The ratings are up there.
Yeah.
And this result just blew me away.
Yeah, it blew my mind as well. But now we have to talk about something else, because there's a little bit of an elephant in the room, because a lot of people cannot afford a diesel.
Exactly.
Right? So if you have to tow a lot, but not like 30,000 pounds, what do you get?
Well, you get a 3/4 ton or a 2,500 truck.
Right.
So, so let's count these down. These are gassers. You're absolutely right. To step up from a gasoline heavy-duty pickup truck engine to a diesel, it could be $10,000. It could be $11,000. So if you're not using it every day for towing, it may not make sense for you.
Right.
But what does make sense? A gas engine. So let's count down once again, top three, starting with the least efficient to the most efficient. And in this case, we're talking about, these are empty runs, right? Unladen.
These are unladen runs, but the problem is that the EPA does not rate these vehicles, so there's nothing official out there. Fortunately, we have Andre, and he takes those trucks out there and goes on these massive loops. I believe these are all 66-mile loops. Am I correct? Or most of them are.
Exactly. And we call them Hudson, Colorado, Hudson loops.
The Hudson loops.
Yeah.
And the good news is that, it's at high elevation, but we try to keep it relatively even. And the good news is that he has these results. So you could take it with a grain of salt, because these are mostly highway miles.
Exactly.
Right?
And if you want to see towing, we have the Ike Gauntlet. So although we're not showing you a lot of the Ikes right now in this video, you can click below in the TFL Truck channel and you'll see a lot of Ike Gauntlets. But let's say you're hauling something in your bed. What is an MPG? Well, number 3 on our list is the Ram 2500 with a 6.4 liter Hemi V8. This is the latest iteration of this powertrain with an 8-speed automatic transmission. Well, this is the clip. Here we go. We went a total of 1,051.8 miles for this trip, and the Ram is showing 16.4 mpg. So that's good. Okay. 1,051.8 miles divided by a total number of gallons we used after 3 fill-ups, which is 68.338. equals 15.4. Yikes. So the computer on the Ram was optimistic, and this is almost identical to what we got in a stock 7.3 liter powered Godzilla Ford F-250. Huh. Who would have thunk? This was a longer journey cross country.
That is correct.
Where Case and I were filming, and we got 14.8 mpg, which for a heavy truck is okay.
And keep in mind, that wasn't just a heavy truck. It was loaded with stuff, too. To be fair, I mean, it had a lot of stuff on the interior. I think it had extra steps on the outside.
It was well optioned.
Yeah, it was a well-optioned, beefy truck.
But where do we go from here? Number 2 on our list is the Ford F-250 with a 7.3 liter gas, also known as Godzilla V8.
You just love saying Godzilla.
Godzilla. Well, here's what happened on our Hudson loop, in fact. Check it out. The damage is 4.383. All right, let's do the unladen number. So 66 divided by 4.383. 15, almost dead, but that's actually rounding up to 15.1. So that's not a bad result, but
no, it's probably an average result for a big block gas engine.
Yeah, in the big heavy 4x4 truck. Yep, 15.1. A little bit better, not a lot better actually. Mm-hmm. But still, that engine is, well, it's got a little bit more torque. Actually, one of the torquiest ones in this gasoline field, and still did decently with 15.1 mpg.
And it's a very new powertrain, so it's
it kind of surprised us when it first came out.
It certainly did.
We thought maybe the 6.2 liter gas V8 was going to go away. No, they still kept it. They just added this new one, which is more powerful and also turns out relatively efficient.
Yes, but there is something out there that's more efficient.
Yes, there is. And this was also a surprise to me. Number one on our 2500 list, gas trucks, is the Chevy 2500 Heavy Duty with their 6.6 liter gas V8. Okay, 4.134. 4.134 is the number. All right, let's do it. 66 miles divided by 4.134. Roger. Ooh.
Oh, that dropped.
16.0. Well, if you round it, 16.0. Now this one was also on a 66-mile loop.
Right.
Still the same loop. 16 mpg. Well, that's considerable. That's almost 1 mpg better.
That's exactly it. So, I mean, that is a big difference.
Yeah. So here's the thing. When the Godzilla came out, right? A little bit later, the 6.6, this new generation gas GM engine came out. And it didn't quite have the same horsepower or torque.
Right.
It has a 6-speed automatic attached to it, not a 10-speed
Right.
in case of Ford. But still, maybe less power means more efficiency, which is kind of what you want, right?
And some people would even argue that if you don't have it high strung, if you drop the power a little bit, drop the torque a little bit, don't force it, it'll last longer too, which is something a lot of automakers have been doing.
So if you're purchasing or thinking about purchasing a brand new pickup truck in the heavy duty segment, you may have to take another look at this because these are the real world results.
That's correct.
I have a bonus. I was going to surprise you.
Okay, hit me.
I know you put this together, but I added a bonus.
Okay, please.
On it. The bonus truck is another heavy duty. It is the GMC Hummer
Oh,
EV.
for crying out loud.
You like that?
You're going to make me figure out kilowatts to miles or something like that?
Kind of.
No,
I
I
will.
can't do it in my head.
No, but listen to this. So, okay, this is kind of a silly thing. They haven't sold many Hummers EVs yet. They're very, very expensive. They're very powerful, 3 seconds, 0 to 60s, which is insane. But here's what it converts to. A GMC Hummer EV is rated in the city at 51 mpg equivalent, 51. On the highway, it's rated at 43. This is the preliminary EPA numbers.
Okay.
43 mpge. MPGE means equivalent amount of energy if it was converted to gallons.
Okay.
51, 43.
But it's considered a heavy duty. I know we've been back and forth on this, but is
Okay,
it really a heavy duty truck?
It's by weight. Yeah, it is.
Well, by
Big-
weight,
big-
it's one of these.
it's heavier.
It's heavier than those.
The curb weight on the
It's like 9,000 pounds.
Yes, it's curb weight. The curb weight on the Hummer is 9,000 pounds, just a little bit over that. These pickups are about 8,000 curb weight, maybe 8,200.
It's just
So,
nuts.
yes, it's a whole different thing, but I wanted to put it on this list so you guys can get an idea about how electrics kind of compare. They don't tow as much, don't go as far,
Right.
but fairly efficient actually for kind of running about.
Okay. And so when you guys want to start screaming and yelling about all the things it takes to actually build these trucks, go talk to Andre. He put it on the list, not me.
There you have it, guys. As always, go back to tfl-studios.com, which is where we have all of our channels, all the news in one place, so you
Right.
can check out the latest stories. We have fuel efficiency stories on TFL EV, TFL Car, TFL Truck, and TFL Off-Road.
That's right, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, welcome to Tumbleweed Ranch, and in this new series we're calling Taming Tumbleweed. We're going to be a bunch of little kids with big boy toys, and that of course includes things like skid steers, big old trucks, and much more, because what we have to do is take this ranch and convert it into a functioning off-road test course, along with everything that entails. So that's coming up very soon, but let's give you a little sneak peek of what we've been up to before we start airing the series. Hey David, hold up a sec. So what are you doing back there?
I'm trying to get used to these controls. My muscle memory is just completely off because I have 2 joysticks and it just operates a little different. So it's kind of a little bit stressful, actually.
What are we doing here? Why are we dumping rock on rock?
Well, because this rock, even though it's better than just dirt, it's not real compacted, and so when it gets wet,
It gets muddy.
It gets muddy.
Yeah.
So this is going to compact. This is recycled asphalt, so it's still got a little oil in it from when it was originally laid as a road. So it'll pack down hard, and it'll be a lot less muddy on your cars when you bring them into the garage. And
when we bring them out here to test.
it'll be easier to keep them clean.
So this is kind of just phase one, right? We're also going to be building a barn. We're going to be doing some major reconstruction up here at the ranch.
Right, yeah.
And thank you for your help.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. It's fun to be working on equipment, and especially being outside.
And do I get to play with this too?
Oh yeah, you want in again?
No. So as part of Tumbleweed, that's a problem. As part of Tumbleweed Ranch, we're of course going to build an off-road testing course. So when we do our off-road testing, we've got a perfect course to compare vehicles. And we're gonna do things like take Nathan's Crack and make it into an obstacle. We're gonna take Sniper Hill and make it into a climbing course. And of course, we're gonna take Andre's Pit and make it a very difficult mud challenge. This is all gonna get well leveled so that we can take, not spray paint, but actual heavy equipment in here and build a barn, which is gonna be, well, you'll see. That's part of the series. You'll see us actually erecting a barn, because that is what David is all about. He's an expert at pole barns. So we're not going to need an animal pen anymore, because the only wild animals on Tumbleweed Ranch are going to be Mustangs and Broncos. Right, maybe not Mustangs, but definitely Broncos. So coming soon, come along, join us on this journey as we tame Tumbleweed.